work with Professor Delgado Cruzada. I read her bio and I saw she did so much work with cancer and epigenetics. The whole idea of working with that, about working with something that affects other people, I found it very exciting. One of the things that I've loved about working with her is how she pushes me to do everything that I can and be the best scientist and also student and person that I can be.
I have heard of masters, I had heard of PhDs in medical school, but I didn't really picture myself as being like a medical student or a PhD candidate. It was Dr. Lentz who basically told me, have you thought about graduate school? Do you think about a master's or a PhD? And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I don't think I'm ready for a PhD. I don't know. I've thought about it, maybe. But I hadn't really seen myself from that perspective. That I could be, capable of completing a PhD. But he recognized those skills, and I planted kind of like that seed within me. That probably made the biggest impact because I saw myself as being capable, and it was like just that sense of encouragement to go ahead and try new things and not just settle.
You've just heard students talking about someone that they work with in their research that has helped them get their feet on the ground and guided them through the process. They're all talking about a mentor, someone with more experience doing something, in this case, research, than you, and who is interested in helping you become a professional, in this case, a science professional.
What I enjoy most in mentoring students is really seeing the progression from a student who is completely dependent on the professor to a fully independent scientist who can now really confidently enter the professional scientific world.
Even though mentoring is a demanding activity, I love it. You have to do a lot of work with the students, not just the proposals, the posters. You have also to prepare the lab for them, to train them, to look for the money for getting the supplies they need, to encourage them to go to different scientific meetings. So actually, you spend a lot of time of energy on that. But I really think that is worth it. I really believe that the education is the way to get a more just and fair society. So my commitment is full to educate students and then to help them to become real scientists.
Research in the laboratory allows the students to learn particular skills that they are not able to learn anywhere else. So mentoring students in this context becomes very rewarding because they can explore questions that they are interested in, and also questions that will support research other people are interested about.
Working on research with students is incredibly rewarding because we often dive into uncharted waters, conducting relevant experiments as we try to answer the questions at hand. When the students I mentor see us answer a question that came up in real life, they get enthusiastic. They really love taking classroom theory and applying it to real-life situations.
A research mentor will help you learn methods and techniques, explore the background in your field, find venues to present your work, and more. That same person may or may not be a role model for you. They may or may not be someone who gives you advice on which classes to take, signs your paychecks, or coaches you to the finish line of your project. You may become friends with your research mentor and stay in contact long after the research is complete. Or you may learn what you need to from that person and move on. And that's okay. In all of these cases, you learn a lot and make progress on the path towards becoming a professional. So how do you find a mentor? In general, you want to talk to people. Let's say you're taking a class and the lecture or lab topic one day interests you. Go talk to the professor. They can help. They might tell you to talk to someone else, but they are drawing on their experience to help you and send you in the right direction. That's a great way to start. How do you work with a mentor? As in most relationships, communication is critical. While your mentor may have more experience than you do, you are not a passive recipient of their advice or just following orders. Be active by communicating your interests, your goals, and your expectations to your mentor. And ask them what their goals and expectations are as well, both for you and for their research project. Be honest about your background and experience. That really helps in setting goals and expectations. Sometimes this is easier said than done. Your mentor might be hard to reach or be unclear about their expectations. That doesn't mean they don't want to work with you, but it may mean that they haven't learned how to be a strong mentor. If you find yourself in this situation, keep the lines of communication open and also try reaching out to others. maybe a student who's been working with your mentor longer, or another scientist in the same field. And if things still aren't working, you might think about finding another mentor. Like the scientists you just heard from, I mentor students as well. Some of them have gone on to become professional scientists, and some into careers where they use science, like teaching and science journalism. I really look forward to seeing them at meetings and catching up over lunch or a drink. And I also still have mentors, colleagues in my own department who've been here longer than me, and leaders in fields or organizations where I'd like to be a leader. You may take on mentorship roles as more students join you in your research. And in all of these cases, respect, trust, and open communication leads to a successful mentoring relationship.